With week one starting today, we have some big news regarding the fantasy football world. Before I get to that, we'd like to congratulate the organization of Team Fuck, who, despite not a single person caring whatsoever last year, still pulled through and won the championship. Now, Zach Hollis, who is the owner of last year's champions, Team Fuck, was forced to change their name to Team Dumbfuck after he forgot his login information for the ESPN app. Not like he ever really had a chance to win anyways, given that David Johnson is on the starting lineup. In other news, with the $10 buy-in deadline coming to a close, we still have... breaking news. We only have 4 teams now. I just got the text here. It was 5, but it looks like only 4 teams. This is including Team Fuck, given that he is, at the current moment, fighting to not pay the $10, but most of the league is still saying that he should pay. It's his own fault that he can't remember his login information, and honestly, I don't care how bad his team is. That's your fault that you went out to eat during the draft. You know, we set up the time. All you had to do was be open at that time. So we still have 4 teams who have not paid their respective dues. Pap Smear's owner, Benjamin, has actually expressed his distaste in the idea of a deadline, saying that he'd rather pay later. Him and Commissioner Smelly are still working on that agreement, as Pap's owner has opted to not pay the $10 until his demands are met. His demands of a later buy-in date, at least, are met. We'll have more as that story develops. Obviously, we're in the early stages of that story.
What's up, Derek?
All right, we have Commissioner Smelly on the line. Now, Smell, please tell us, what are the possible punishments for not paying the $10? Are you willing to sign an agreement with some of the league owners who have opted to pay later, or is this a pay now or don't get paid situation?
Who's on the line right now?
This is Derek.
Who's on the line right now?
This is the owner of the Lakeland
Is it
booth.
just me and you?
It's just us, yes.
I'm taking...
This we actually are using a couple of phones right
You're
now.
breaking out, Derek. I don't know if you can hear me, but...
We can hear you just fine. I'm sorry about this. We're using a few phones. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time either.
All right, perfect. Commissioner Smelly, so we got to know real quick. Please tell us, what are the possible punishments for not paying the $10? Are you willing to sign the agreement with some of the league owners who have opted to pay later, or is this a pay now or don't get paid situation?
Here's the deal. I don't like the fact that they can't pay and then they still get to play in the fantasy league. But the conundrum is that I need them to play in the fantasy league so the people that did pay are having fun and incentivized to continue playing. So pretty much everyone has paid except for Alex and Zach and Cameron. Cameron, I hope will pay today. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything from Alex, and Ben is very stout-hearted to not pay until the end of the season. So I'm saying that once everyone pays and Ben is the only person that doesn't pay, he'll probably start paying. So,
I think. All right. We were just wondering here if you were if it was possible that after the deadline, if they didn't pay, if they win, tough luck. You don't get the pot.
No, because that's unfair to the people that did pay.
Well, I just think we give it to the people that did pay. We give them their refund back if somebody like that. All right. Well, Commissioner, I know you're a busy man, so I'm gonna let you off of here so you can get working on getting Team Dumbfuck back in the league. Thank you.
Who is we, though?
All right. Before we get to the Week 1 game forecast, we have a trade alert. Nobody in the league made a trade or has actually accepted a trade, but the owner of proposed an awful trade to Lakeland's team, the Booth, wanting Chark Jr., who was and still is a top-tier wide receiver, who's only been getting better, and he decided to offer A.J. Green, who plays for the Bengals, so I don't really need to explain anymore there. He's not going to be good. And Tevin Coleman, whose only consistency in his game is his consistent ability to be injured and put up 10 points. So we can mark that as a throwaway trade, an absolute retarded deal by the owner, Alex, who really thought that we'd go through with that. And thank you. All right, right here we have straight from our experts here. We have the percentages for each team this week. It looks like the Clemson Tigers, my mistake, I mean Team Gagarin, they have a 58-42 odds over the Lakeland Goof. Cop Shoot All People, primarily black, has a 54-46 odds over Dick Fuck. Looks like Big Daddy holds the 55-45 advantage over Pap Smear, who's playing this week. Commissioner Smelly, who also happens to own half of the Bucks offense, holds a disadvantage against Dot Dot at a 41-59 odds. And finally, let me clarify, this will probably be the first and only time all year you hear me say this, but I'm giving Shit Cunt the advantage. That is only because he is playing against Team Dumbfuck, who can't even access their account, and his starting lineup looks like the Jaguars bench, minus Michael Thomas and Julio Jones, who are, of course, are actually good players, and I'd hate to see them have to be a part of this organization. I hope they demand the trade later on, but I'm going to have to give Shit Cunt the 65-35 advantage. Before I go, there's only about 3 players on Smelly Finelli's team who we would consider fully healthy for this year. That will, for the most part, be the most healthy players we see on his roster all year, and the season hasn't even started yet. Until then, Godspeed from the Cock and Ball Torch organization, and good luck to everybody except for Christopher.